Hello, welcome back to another day where I try to learn tarot and I decided to take you along with me. So last time I used my kind of Wheel of Cheese deck, and this time I decided to use another deck. I also have a special guest here with me. I have Kiwisha. Hello, Kiwisha, say hi. Okay. Sometimes I like to look at the images, and if something kind of stands out in the image or I get a certain feeling, that can kind of expand on the narrative of that card. So what I'm going to do here, I always like just kind of making a mess. In my last video, I was playing some white noise in the background because I had the dryer running. And yeah, this time I'm doing kind of like a babbling brook noise. Yeah. My neighbors are getting their carpet cleaned, so there's a big truck outside. It doesn't matter if you guys can see the cards or not. And we are going to do Celtic Cross again. Now, if I had a person sitting here in front of me that I was giving the reading to, I would lay out the cards and I would have them pick. And then if they didn't want to pick any more cards, I would shuffle them again, lay them out. Some people like to put all the cards face down and flip them up one at a time. I like to just put the cards up as I put them down and kind of get like an overall kind of feeling. I don't necessarily look at each individual card. It's kind of weird. You just kind of get like a vibe. Vibe, right? You get a vibe from the spread, and that kind of leads you into the session. So I don't know who this is for. If certain parts of this resonate with you, that's cool. If certain parts don't, take what does, leave the rest. I always like to imagine that somebody somewhere is going to click on this video and it's going to be for them. So, right? Okay. So I'm going to lay out the cards here. It's kind of interesting is that it broke. So I'm going to put that card here. This one, these two in particular are kind of sticking up. I've been going through this really deep healing journey, and I've really been like diving into it, and no hold back, you know. And I feel like it's kind of almost hindering my progress, really, because I need to kind of let things go as they want to, right? You can't force things. Anyway, I've been going through a lot of like emotional release of getting all this like acne right here. I've always been kind of acne prone as a kid. Um, that one. This one kind of looks nice. Pick this one. Yeah. Is that right? Alright, let's try to I'm not the best at shuffling cards, I'm not going to lie. But I'm not going to try to force something. Shoot. Alright, well, I'm going to look at those cards, and if I see them again, that means something, right? And I will just going to shuffle them around again really fast. Right, Kiwisha. So I have 4 birds. So this is Kiwisha, the other one is Kiwi. I'd like to tell you that their name is based on their personalities, but it's kind of just whatever felt right when we were trying to name them. Coming up with all these names. It's funny too, because animals kind of all have their own personality, you know? Some people are going to be like, that's not funny, but there's some people who really don't think that, right? That animals have any type of soul or personality. She's kind of more tame. She's going to be my little companion today. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't be too serious with it. This card's kind of jumping out at me. So I'm just going to put it up to the side. There is no... Are you chewing on my hat? Okay. I feel like this card is meant to be something later. Kind of like a surprise. When I feel like it's time to bring it out, I'll bring it out. So I can either shuffle these cards or lay them out as is. I'm just going to lay them out as is. All right, the querent. So that would be the subject of the reading. So if you were doing a reading for yourself, that would be you. If the querent was a guest of mine that I was doing a reading for, sitting on the other side of the table, this would then be them, right? So the hermit, it is upright as it is facing me since I am doing the reading. Okay, 10 of cups, 2, 3 goes here, 4, 5. A lot of these are reversed. That's interesting. 6, 7, 8, 9. A lot of reversed cards. Not necessarily a good or a bad thing. Okay, so querent, whoever this reading is for, signifier card can be selected and used, blah, blah, blah. So the hermit is all about introspection, being alone. For this reading, I definitely feel like this person is alone. This person is alone, either mentally or physically. Maybe both. Okay, next we have the 10 of Cups. These cards are labeled unlike my last deck, which is nice. And yes, I do look up the meaning of every single one. I don't have them memorized. I have several books. They all kind of say their own thing about each card. Sometimes they're kind of similar definitions. Sometimes they're different, or sometimes I'll have one or two things. So I typically will do my little research and I'll kind of learn around, and whatever kind of jumps out or feels right about that, is what I will stick to. It's all about interpretation and feeling, and that's the art of it. Ten of Cups. I believe it is reversed. All right, so this is going to indicate a disruption of happiness and harmony in the relationship, potentially indicating conflict, broken family dynamics, or lack of emotional fulfillment. Okay. So card 2 in this position is the obstacle or influence that is bearing on the question. So there's some type of overall theme, and this is sort of the obstacle. The obstacle is a disruption in harmony. I am getting sort of like a family vibe. Are you chewing on my hat? Disruption of family, togetherness. Maybe whatever decision this is or whatever you're going to have to face is going to cause a disruption in your family. Not really getting so much emotion. I'm getting kind of like an emptiness. All right, card 3, which is this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It does say 6 there. 6 of Wands. Forget these cards are labeled. So in this position, it is the question itself and the basis of the matter. So this is the hurdle relating to this. A delay or lack of recognizing your accomplishment. Loss of confidence, feeling of being overlooked, or a need to reassess your goals due to external pressures or doubt. It could be a temporary setback, a lack of recognition, a lack of confidence, internal conflict, need for a reevaluation. So if there's any time where I want clarification on a card, I will kind of feel it out, and I will grab another card. Kiwi. Come here. You want to come be on the table? Nine of Pentacles, financial independence, self-reliance, and enjoyment in life's luxuries earned through one's own efforts. Interesting. So I feel as though you have made some type of significant effort and you're not recognizing it, you're refusing to recognize it, maybe you just don't see it. It hasn't come to your attention yet, possibly. You've made some type of stride. Okay. Just feel like putting it like that. 3, 4. The Empress. This is typically for emotional creativity, spirituality, pregnancy, and it's reversed. A period where nurturing creativity and emotional connection may be challenged. 4, the recent past. Okay. So you're coming from this past where creativity wasn't really expressed or allowed or kind of suppressed. Do you want to go back? You're not having fun? Okay. You get your brand. I'm back. Kiwisha decided she wanted to go back to be with her friends. So, yeah, not a lot. This just seems kind of like a very empty time right now, if I'm being honest. Real empty time. All right, the Three of Wands reversed. This is going to signify the highest potential. Frustration, delays. I also see maybe confusion. Just cloudiness. You know, like when you're really flowing and you're getting there and everything kind of seems to line up. I'm not really getting that with this card. I'm getting kind of just like a fogginess. Let's expand on that. What is causing this fogginess? What is causing it? All right. Everybody thinks the death card is scary. It just means new beginnings, honestly. So resistance to change, fear of letting go, and yeah. So you're stagnating right now. This cloudiness is kind of like a stagnant kind of air, and it's time to move on from that. It's time to, yeah, you're not really growing. It's kind of sad. I'm getting kind of like a sadness. Perhaps this growing, this transition is going to impact family. It's going to cause you to be alone. But you're in a place where you're not being very creative. So this card signifies the recent past. To me, it almost seems like there is a possibility for a change. This is going to lead you to some type of decision, some type of ultimatum, some type of fork in the road, some type of turning point. What kind of decision is that going to be? What kind of decision? We've got the moon. And again, I'm still learning, so I'm going to look up the cards. Sometimes, though, and this is what I said in my last video, if maybe the book definition of a card doesn't really resonate with me at the time, I'll drop it and kind of interpret it myself. I don't live fast by that's what this card means 100%. Although it is true, right, that these cards are supposed to signify some type of idea or energy. It varies depending on the reading and what other cards are around it. It's kind of just like I was saying earlier too. Each card could be considered like a word in a sentence, and sometimes things don't make sense by themselves, or we can't decipher the energy, right, that the card is giving off, and you need more context to that. So you'll need to put other words together to build a sentence, and so you might need other cards to kind of add a nuance or to kind of add some more energy right to that thought, to give you something that you can understand or perceive. So overcoming fears, gaining clarity, and moving past confusion. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I was saying earlier. I really didn't kind of relay any more information. I said earlier that it's confusion. There's somebody somewhere is confused. Um, I don't want to say it's like a confusion like you're lost so much as it's almost kind of like an ADD kind of, your attention can't focal down, right? Um, it's like a cloud with all these different like pinpoints. You can't focus on one thing, and you're kind of just not going anywhere. Overcoming fears. This seems to be a general theme. You're overcoming some type of fear, whatever that fear is. Self-deception and hidden truths, potentially leading to a more grounded and intuitive understanding. Yeah, you will grow and you will learn from this experience, but you grow and learn from all experiences. But there is something specific about this that you will grow and learn from. I wonder if I grab another card. I bet you it'll show me the Wheel of Fortune. It does not. The Queen of Wands. A lot of cards are reversed today. Loss of confidence, self-doubt, or feeling overwhelmed. Yeah, I mean, there's this big cloud in front of you. You can't focus on anything. It's overwhelming. I'm getting a lot of that. I'm getting a lot of I don't know. Let's move on to card 6, the 7 of Wands reversed. So the card in this position, the near future in relation to the question. Overwhelmed, exhausted, or defeated when defending a position or an idea. Okay. You have some type of, yeah. So the picture here, the guy or girl or whoever, looks like a guy. It's almost to imply like he's fighting, like he's using the staff and is like fighting away at people. It's almost like they are trying to grab some type of attention from him. He's defending himself in his position. And what looks funny is that he's tall in relation to this kind of like mountain that he's standing on with the brook, almost as if he's a giant. This is almost kind of like your territory, your area. Don't be afraid of that, though. Don't be afraid of defending yourself or standing up for yourself. You'd be surprised once you start being your authentic self what's going to happen for you and the things that the universe will recognize. I really see this as the key to getting through the fog, is standing up for yourself. Saying like, no, this is what I believe in. This is what I want to do. This is what I see. The Tower reversed. I feel like that's a good thing. Often indicates that a major upheaval or dramatic change is either avoided, delayed, or less impactful than it would be if the card was reversed. You're resisting change, whether it's happening internal or external. You're trying to prevent a difficult experience. This is all just very vague, right? I don't see any type of like specific what are you preventing? What are you trying to prevent from happening? Two of Cups. Partnership, union, and a deep connection. Okay. You're resisting a relationship, closeness. For some reason, you feel insecure. You can't be close to someone. I think it could be underlying a trust thing. Maybe your trust was broken in the past. You're not committing to some type of relationship, whether it be romantic or not. That does kind of go along with the idea of the hermit. Being alone, isolated. You're either isolated mentally, physically, or both, and I see this card kind of playing with that. Okay. Let's move on to 7. Fears and concerns that the client has about the matter. So the King of Wands. Visionary leader who is passionate, confident, and inspiring. You're afraid to lead people, I guess. You're afraid to lead people. You're really afraid to just go out there and you know that you are a leader. You have maybe leadership experience or you have that energy, right? You have that ability. And you're afraid to be a leader. What what will you bring as a leader? If you were a leader, what would you bring to the table? 4 of Swords. Rest, retreat, and suggest the need to step back from external pressures, find stillness. But I asked specifically, what would you bring as a leader? As a leader, you would bring stability, peace, mental clarity. This is really what you need to do, is kind of step up and take charge of whatever situation this is. Don't be afraid to step up and take charge. Don't be afraid to make decisions. Don't be afraid to go out of your way and do something great. I just feel like drawing another card for this. King of Swords. A lot of kings here, huh? Fearing being a king. Intellect, reason, and clear communication. You are going to bring intellect, clear communication, peace, and rest. but you fear that for some reason. Maybe you don't know that, but I'm here to tell you that you will be providing that to somebody or to something or to even yourself, especially yourself. The star, other people's perspectives, how other people see you. Hope, faith, and renewal. Healing, optimism, trust in the universe. Often shows difficult times like those represented by the tower. Interesting. Mm, these are really picking up for me. It says hope and optimism, healing and renewal, trust and faith, connection to spirituality, inspiration and creativity. None of those are really like sticking out to me. That's what I say. Sometimes you read the definition of something and you're like, I don't know how that fits in. Then you can just pull another card. All right, Queen of Swords reversed. I definitely feel like this is a feminine energy. I definitely feel like this is a female. If you're a male and this is resonating with you, hey, that's cool, take it. But I definitely feel like this reading is for a female. This reading is for a female. There's a lot of king, right? King cards here. It's just a real feminine energy. Often indicates a tendency to let emotions cloud judgment and a potential for harsh or bitter manipulative behavior. How does that relate to the star, though? Other people look at you this way. When I see the star, it almost feels like this is maybe like a cover or like a front. Like I'm just going to be honest and say, you want people to think of you as this person, right? Watering, caring about nature, caring about people, filling other people's needs. But there are people who look at you as manipulative, bitter, harsh, holding on to something. You might not see yourself that way. You probably feel like there's probably really good reasons why you feel a certain way. And I'm here to tell you, and I'm just going to be straight up. People can appreciate trauma that we've been through, but no trauma ever excuses behavior. Now, I don't know who this is or what they're doing, but you need to step up and take accountability for what you're doing to people and how they feel about what you're doing. It's like I always say, too, a text message can be read so many different ways. The same words can be interpreted so many different ways by different people. You never really know the impact you have on other people or what you are doing to them. You never really know. And for some reason, whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to rationalize inside of yourself to say, like, I am doing the right thing, right? Like, you're doing the right thing. You're trying to, you're telling people, you're putting up this front that you're doing the right thing. But in reality, you're really hurting people. You're being manipulative. Maybe you feel like you have to be that way to survive. Maybe that's how you were raised. And I'm here to tell you that's not correct. That is not true. You have a kinder, more passionate, bright soul that is not being utilized. That might be why you feel alone, because you're not being your true self. You think you have to act this way, but you don't. Eight of Swords. It's just number 9. Querent's hopes and wishes for the future. So I see bondage, but it's upside down, right? It's reversed. So you would be essentially be freeing yourself from whatever condition. I don't see you getting out of this unless you take charge of the situation. Ten of Swords reversed. Overcoming a difficult period, releasing. So you want this. You want to embrace new beginnings. You want to get out of. You want to get out of this. I don't think you really see what the issue is yet, though. I'm going to be honest. I feel like you recognize that you're kind of in a weird spot. That you're kind of not where you want to be. Do I reveal this now? I feel like I want to put this card right here. In between your hopes and other people's perspective. Is this the bridge? Oh, the Fool. Interesting. So to bridge between other people's perspectives, where does this card fit? The Fool typically, right, if you read the lore about tarot, right, this is the beginning of the journey, and all of these cards are part of the journey. Signifies the beginning of a journey. Typically unaware, right, so he's about to walk off a cliff. It's whatever the card speaks to you, though. If you don't really notice or care about the cliff, right, then it's not pertinent to the reading. The Three of Swords. And I just felt like picking another card. It's like I just kind of saw it over there, and so... Heartbreak, disappointment, painful situations. Yeah, I can see you being vindictive or mean to other people, trying to justify it to yourself. Because you've gone through heartbreak, disappointment, and painful situations. The Fool is such a powerful card here, though, and I'm not sure. It typically, I don't know. Let's get some clarification on that. Why was the Fool placed here? How can this pertain to the rest of the reading? The Three of Pentacles. And again, this is not part of the traditional cross. This is just, I don't know, I'm kind of just feeling it out. And I'm just kind of... Teamwork, collaboration, and the mastery of skill. I think we had mentioned earlier that you were afraid of commitment. You're afraid of working with other people. So perhaps you can start a new journey by working with other people, getting over your fear of heartbreak. You, for some reason, don't trust people. You don't want to work with people. This is going to be your key out. All right, overall outcome of the matter. We're moving on to the last card, and it is the Ten of Pentacles. It is reversed. Ten of Pentacles reversed often signifies instability, challenges, and disruption to previously established wealth and stability. Yeah, it may suck, whatever you're going to have to do. However, it is what you're supposed to do. I wish I could tell you more great things. It is reversed for me, though, so it looks like that. You are going to have to go through this challenging period. It is part of it, whatever you're doing. It might be paying back karma. And you don't pay back karma. Karma is an imbalance of energy. So if you did something substantial in this life and you move on to the next and you feel a certain way about it, right? Like it's an unfinished business, or you want to experience the other side of whatever you did, because our souls are just hungry for knowledge, right? They want to learn. That's what karma is. It's that want to experience as pertain to a last experience. So you've made some type of change or impact, and now you want to see what that effect that has. That's karma. So you move on from this life and you saw that you were really negative, or you did something to really hurt people. Now you want to know what it feels like to be hurt the same way, if that makes sense. So I feel as though this moment of financial instability or loss, I get a feeling that you're just going to be making less money. Perhaps you're heading that way. That is the overall outcome. We can pull more cards. But it's supposed to be that way for whatever reason. And you can't fear, right? You can't fear things. You have to move forward. Two of Swords, for me, it is upright. Signifies indecision and need for careful consideration and a period of a stalemate. I see that a lot here. Yeah, you're just not... That's what's causing you this pain. Man, it's just you don't want to move forward. You don't want to get out of whatever it is. The Knight of Pentacles. This is typically a good card. For some reason, it's feeling... interesting. Grounded, reliable, steadfast energy. So this is kind of like I like to look at, so time, right, doesn't really exist. This is just our perception of it. We agreed to come down here into this energy state, right, where time exists, and we have a linear understanding of time. Outside of this, though, time does not exist. That being said, this potential, right, is already exists. This potential. When people say that they're manifesting stuff, what you manifest is already there because everything exists at once. So this stability, this I don't necessarily get a good feeling from this card, though. Grounded, reliable, steadfast. I don't know. It almost just feels like you're not moving. Even though he is on a horse, that's just the feeling I'm getting. You're not moving. See, this is a perfect example of the textbook, right? Definition and my interpretation, which is where the art of this really comes in. You can't be afraid to say what you think is happening. It almost just feels like a stagnation, like a refusal, like you're on a donkey, right? And the donkey's refusing, like stubborn as an ass, right? King of Pentacles. A lot of pentacles here. I'm really just trying to hammer this out for you, I'm being honest. Stability, security, prosperity. Yeah. All right, so just a quick recap. You are alone. You are alone, either mentally or physically. You're afraid of working with people. You want people to look at you as if you're this kind, nurturing person, and that you may be trying to manipulate people into thinking of you that way. I don't think you really recognize yourself, but other people can see through that facade and see you as manipulative and vindictive, and there's some type of bitterness holding you there. I see a lack of creative flow. My birds are being crazy. I see a lack of creative flow, lack of maternal energy. I see you're afraid to take charge of a situation, and by take charge, I mean do what's actually good, not just want to be in charge to sit and gossip and be rude. That's just what's coming to me right now. And just a refusal, right, to see through it. It's cloudy. An absence of family. An absence of family with the Hermit. I mean, you are this way, and this is basically you're seeing yourself and you're seeing a wall, right? You have to get over this wall of loneliness, but you're refusing to work with people. You're afraid for some reason. I feel like you've been taught to be afraid of working with people, maybe from experience. What else should we know about this? How can she, because I definitely feel like this is feminine. Males gossip too, don't get me wrong. Any type of guy, all of them, they all have their own way. Everybody has their own way of talking, right, and gossip, so I've seen it all. What is the final nail, right? The final word for this reading, for this person, whoever this is that is meant to find this. This is the final thing. Page of Pentacles reversed. Missed opportunities, lack of focus, or difficulty committing to goals. You're missing opportunities here. You're missing opportunities to move forward, to grow, to learn. I'm seeing financial opportunities, especially. You're missing out on those because your creative energy is not flowing. You're refusing to move forward. You need to get out of it. You need to get over it. Start working with other people. begin new journeys with people, forget the pain. You don't forget it, you need to get over it. You need to experience it. You need to let that out to air. Feelings, they stay suppressed inside of us and they eat away at your body. You need to let that go. Whatever that was, that is not what's happening now. Not everybody's going to treat you the same way. You feel vulnerable. You don't like when people stab you in the back because it digs at you inside, and that is something inside of you that is not healed. You need to heal that inside of yourself first, because eventually you will get to understand that people are just going to do their own thing and you just have to do their own thing, and at the end of the day, you're fine. You're okay. Maybe you're meant to be alone. Stop trying to force connections. That might be why they're not working out for you. You're trying to force connections. Let them come and happen to you. I specifically get maybe a mother with a young child, maybe a single mother, maybe you're married, maybe your husband is distant, maybe gone a lot for work, not really present. Yeah, that's just kind of what I'm getting. If this resonated with you, that's cool. If it didn't, that's cool too. We're just learning here, learning how to read tarot. I think it's fun. Um, I have several decks. Next time, I think I'm going to try a different layout. I've done this layout enough times. As you can maybe see, there's just a lot of cards here on the table. I hope to get better at it, and I hope that you come with me next time. Bye-bye.